This is it. This is the final game after 65 years of basketball in the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium. Hundreds, if not thousands of basketball players have played here. Championships have been won. Hearts have been broken. But it's always been a great time at this grand Wade E. Miller Gymnasium. And for the final time tonight, we say hello to you. So glad you've joined us. I'm Lenny Robinson. And as always, Marty Fleischer, my colleague and best friend here. Marty, it's a great event and a basketball game might break out.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe. 7 state championships, so many GMC championships, and it's so fitting that we're finishing the arena out with Hamilton Big Blue.
When you look around here, it is jam-packed. I mean, everywhere you look, it's wall-to-wall, standing room only. People appreciate, Marty, the tradition, the history of basketball that's been played here.
Well, there have been so many great teams and great individual players as well. You hate to really name them because you don't leave someone out. Jerry Lucas is here tonight, probably the top name at Middletown High School history. Chris Carter, Archie Aldrich, so many great players have played here. It's really an honor to be here to broadcast the very last game.
It is. There's 32 minutes of basketball left here, and we can't overlook who's playing. It's only fitting that the Big Blue from Hamilton come calling tonight.
Well, the cross-county rivalry, right? It's been that way for years and years, Hamilton, Middletown. And I think both of these teams are pretty well prepared for this game tonight. Middletown, very inexperienced, just one player with any varsity experience last year. Hamilton, great shooting basketball team. So it's going to be our inside game versus their outside game. It should be a great contest.
When you talk to Coach Darnell Hoskins, he says, I've got one varsity player returning, and that's Dewan Bailey playing down in the post. Middletown, as you said, Marty, has a pretty good post game. Yeah,
they really do. They have some size underneath. Of course, the very biggest guy on the team won't suit up until next week, but nonetheless, they still have a lot of size on the inside. Coach, he's a great coach. I watched him up in Dayton. He can really adjust the game based upon his personnel. Again, it should be a great contest. Half court probably for the most part. Their front court versus our back court, or their back court versus our front. It's going to be a great game.
When you talk to Coach Sean Van Winkle, he's in his 4th year at Hamilton. We talked to him about what it's like to come into this big facility here for the final game, and it was kind of nonchalant.
Yeah, probably more so than any other coach. Yeah, all the other coaches we talked to over the years, they love coming here and playing. They love the fact the crowd's right on top of you. They like the environment, the history. So he downplayed a little bit, but I bet he's really talking to his kids about it right now.
Well, yeah, he didn't. He talked about 30 minutes to the players this week about what this game really means. But he knows this is the first contest in the Greater Miami Conference. It's league play. Hamilton 2-0, Middletown 1-1.
Yeah, again, Middletown got off to a good start. The last game didn't shoot the ball very well, but again, I think the kids are really ready. Darnell, I'm sure, has them very well prepared. So again, it comes down to execution. Can we run their guys off the line, off the three-point line? Can we get the ball inside and be productive?
So 65 years in the making for tonight, the final game at the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium, and it's time now to take a look back at some of the great players and the first team to play here. And let's join Warren Johnson from WPFB.
2-point lead. This is a great one. The county rivalry in all its glory. Second drive, plays it up. It is no good. The rebound by Emmerich and the Middies. A crucial rebound by Larry Emmerich. 47 seconds to go now. The Middies with a 2-point lead. Here's Middletown cross center. Fuller to Emmerich. Emmerich gives back to Fuller. 39 seconds into Lucas. Back to Slow on the left side to Roberts. Back to Slow. Back to Roberts. Into Lucas. Off to Fuller. Off to Emmerich. He shoots. It is no good. The rebound by Hamilton. Intercepted by Lucas. He drives in. He lays it off. It's in. And a foul on the play. Here it is. Listen. Jim Walker coming in place of Jerry Lucas. Jerry Lucas scoring 63 points and playing his last home game on the Wade E. Miller floor.
Hello, I'm Ray Phillips, Senior Pastor at Stratford Heights Church of God, right here in Middletown, Ohio. We're excited to be able to host this historical event this evening. Hello, I'm Ray Phillips, Senior Pastor at Stratford Heights Church of God, right here in Middletown, Ohio.
This is the final game, and we're glad to have you with us. Joining us here now on shcog.com, the Stratford Heights Church of God. So glad to have you with us, and thanks to Stratford Heights and Pastor Ray Phillips for joining us and saying, yes, we'll commit to help do this game. So, Pastor Phillips, I know you're not here at the game because you're out of state right now. We hope you're watching and enjoying the game. But Marty, what an atmosphere here tonight.
Well, let me say you're thinking a lot of other people. I know you really put this together, so thank you.
Hey, it was a lot of fun to do it. You know, we started our stand-up a little bit early because we want to see all the festivities. Look down on the floor, if you will, to see what's going on with the Middie lineup. Let's take a look down there. There it is. The tradition that started with Paul Walker.
Yeah, and again, you talk about the tradition, but you look at this crowd tonight, a sold-out crowd here to see the very final game, Middletown versus Hamilton. We move tomorrow night to the new facility, Lenny. I know you've seen it. It is an absolute showplace.
You know, it is, Marty. People will say, well, the Wadey Miller Gymnasium is not something that people wanted to see taken down. They wanted to see this remain in place. They wanted to see this grand old facility really stay here and maybe somehow to make it work so that for decades to come, this grand old lady of a facility would continue. But as the powers that be that control the money and control the ideas, ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to be disappointed with the new Wadey Miller Arena. That opens up tomorrow night. You can join us on shcog.com for that game. Tip-off is scheduled at 7:30, but tonight's game, you had the freshman game, which was almost a packed house.
That's right, overtime game.
Overtime, and then the JV, the Middletown Middies beat Hamilton Big Blue JV by 2 points, and so we're starting a little bit late, but everybody's getting their money, and Marty, those kids who played the freshman and JV game, never going to have an experience like this.
Not unless they play in the state championship, because this place was absolutely rocking for a JV game. Again, sold out gym here tonight. And the Middletown Middies going up against Hamilton, the final game. You certainly don't want to lose this game, Lenny.
Well, as you take a look at the Middletown Middies right there, we went into the locker room before the game. And if you've ever been in the locker room before, it's just a bunch of concrete walls right now.
Right. Yeah, they've taken all the lockers out, moving those up to the new facility. So all these kids will have a brand new, fresh gym to play in tomorrow evening.
So the Wadey Miller Gymnasium opened in 1952. Skeeter Payne was on that team. They won back-to-back state championships led by Coach Paul Walker.
Yeah, again, you talk about this gym and the talent that's played here, the state championships, the GMC championships. It's just been a great venue for so many years, but again, I think it's time to move to a new facility. There's been a lot of maintenance done over the years here, but I think really when you get down to it, it was going to cost almost as much to try and renovate this gym as moving up to the new campus at the high school. And again, take a look at that campus. The high school upgraded, new gym, new middle school next year. So a lot of good things going on up on Brielle Boulevard.
Well, as you can see, we got a chain hanging there in front of us. We got this beautiful background behind us of concrete brick walls. But one of the nice things you're going to see as you take a look at the crowd on the floor, I'm not sure what all we're waiting for, if they're going to have a special presentation or not, But I'm looking forward to better climate control.
Yes, it's a little warm up here.
It is a little warm up here. Even though it's a little chilly outside, it's a little warm up here. Hey, tonight's game is being brought to you by American Savings Bank and by Moon and Adrian Insurance. So our friends Craig Moon and Rob Kilbert, both classmates of mine, a class of a while ago, teamed up. As you're seeing the hands of the former state champions, I see A.C. Mitchell on the right. They're shaking hands with the current Middletown Middie players. I was here earlier. There's Mike Miller, Wadey Miller. That is the relationship there.
They got Jerry Lucas going through the line now. They had Vince Edwards, who's back from Purdue. So a lot of the ex-players are going through, having an opportunity to shake the current middies.
Jerry Lucas is in that red and white Fairfield colors, but maybe wearing for Ohio State. So Jerry is at the end of the line, and I don't know if we can get a close-up of Jerry. I tell you what, he was here at 3 o'clock today, and the freshmen were out just going to come warm up, and there's a good look at Jerry and some of the guys I see Larry Emmerich, who's a teammate of Jerry's. You heard him on the pregame. There's Ricky Martin.
Alan Roberts, Bill Edwards.
So this is, as we said, this is an event in which a basketball game just might break out.
It just might. We'll find out if we ever get started here.
We had heard that this was sold out tonight, Marty, and this holds approximately 3,300. The new facility, the Wadey Miller Arena, holds approximately 100 more than Hamilton. That's the official.
It had to be larger than Hamilton, right?
It holds about 2,200. But, folks, kid you not, as great as a facility as this is, when you come to the new arena tomorrow night, you will be blown away. Good look at the crowd there.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Lenny. This is going to be a great contest, but Middletown has very little experience on the varsity team. They had one player, Bailey, from last year that got some time. Coach Hoskins has actually brought up some freshmen to play in this game and for the season, and they're also getting a big shot in the arm later this week, hopefully, with the return of E.J. Williams, of course, the 6'11 kid who was here, transferred out, and is now back. So that's going to be a great addition to this team.
They're the Middie cheerleaders, but Marty, you talk about 6'11. You look at Jerry Lucas, who played at 6'9, and then Larry Emmerich was 6'8 back in 1956, 57, 58. And look at that picture. All tall guys, it seemed, except for Skeeter. Skeeter played in 56.
That's right. So, and again, you look at some of the middies, Vince Edwards, Bill Edwards, Alan Roberts, some of these guys that have played in here over the last few years. And it's just really nice to see so many people come back, not only the players, but also just a lot of fans that you haven't seen in a while. They're all here tonight. This is the place to be on Friday night.
And as we pan and take a look at the crowd, you're looking at the 1952 team. We'll go down on the court side, see if we get some shots of some of the old-time players that played here. So if we will, let's take a shot down on the floor and listen to the PA announcer. And there is Michael Miller, grandson of Wadey Miller, walking out. There's a good shot of Larry Emmerich with the glasses on. And a standing ovation for the Miller family.
Mike's sister's down there with him.
And there is Paul Walker Jr. and Tim Walker. Tim and I graduated together. Of course, it was the legendary Paul Walker, who back in 1971 got his 600th victory.
1971.
And there's the Walker family on the right and Miller family on the left. And now Vince Edwards from Purdue University, senior. He's on the watch list of one of the top 50 best players in the nation.
He's got a nice NBA career ahead of him. Vincent Edwards started as a freshman here.
So a big round of applause. And we come back to you, but Vince Edwards on the floor.
There's his brother, Bill Edwards. Of course, Bill was a great player here, played at Penn State and Miami University.
Bill Edwards, the second leading scorer in Middletown history. Not right behind, but behind Jerry Lucas, who's the all-time scorer. So brother to brother standing there.
And Vince actually has the edge on Bill, so I'm sure they talk about that quite a bit on the total points.
And Alan Roberts comes onto the floor more recently. One of the free throw records for the Middletown Middies.
Alan Roberts played at Miami University and Penn State as well. And today actually is Alan's birthday.
So he gets a big round of applause as well. And Archie Aldridge.
Archie.
Good to see him back.
Boy, it really is. I know Archie's had a few health issues, but it's really great to see Archie.
And when you see Archie, you think of rebounds.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
He was the original round mound and rebound.
And, of course, he played over at Miami University, where he's in the Hall of Fame over there. Archie Aldridge. He was one of those guys you did not want to play against.
No.
So A.C. Mitchell comes
AC.
out. Now, A.C. still looks like he can play.
He really does.
A.C. played with Jerry Lucas. He graduated in 1959. And he was on the school board. Just a big supporter around Middletown. John Fraley comes out. So John Fraley, who used to help coach some of the middies on free throw shooting, because he holds some records.
Another great player.
Larry Emmerich comes out.
Now Larry could put the ball in the hoop too. Larry was a great
strong
shooter.
Guy. Yes, he was. And there's a good shot of Larry. Well, here comes George Payne, and he's the brother of Skeeter Payne. And George looks a little bit like Skeeter there.
He really does.
I tell you what, those two guys could play some ball as guards. And the biggest round of applause for Luke. Jerry Lucas, the first person in history to win a state championship in high school, an NCAA championship in college, and a world championship in professional NBA basketball.
Part of that team that won, what was it, 76 straight games?
And there's the banner that was put up in 2013, and Jerry was here for that. So a big round of applause for some of these great Middie basketball players, and you couldn't ask for anything more tonight, Marty.
No, it's just a great night. I know our AD had a lot to do with this. It was really nice to see all these guys come back, and again, for the final game, and honor these guys the way that they should be honored.
So, and the great thing about all of them, they love coming back, and they love working with the young kids.
They really do, and it looks like Jerry Lucas can also play. He's in great shape. And now a chant, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.
Marty, you played in 1980. I don't see you on the floor. That's why you're up here.
That's the only reason I'm not on the floor, because I'm up here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a packed full house here at the Wadey Miller Gymnasium. and we will pause to honor our country. So a packed house, and Hamilton fans getting a little bit of their own national anthem put in there, as is their wont to do. And now it's time for the Middletown alma mater. But Marty, you know, you and I, back in our TV Middletown days, saw a lot of great games here. We watched Middletown go deep into the tournament playoffs and in the quarterfinals. I've never seen the Wadey Miller this full.
No, it never has been. You know, you go back when Alan Roberts and Bill Edwards and those guys were here, it was close because Princeton had some really good teams then as well, but never, ever have I seen it this full here tonight. Again, just a great showing. A lot of the old fans are back. Some of the newer kids here as well. A great crowd for Hamilton, so it's just been a really nice night all around so far. The topper would be a huge Middletown victory.
I just saw a picture of my son Chip there. So this is it. 32 minutes of basketball to be played, and then the curtain comes down here at the Wadey Miller. I'm Letty Robinson, along with Marty Fletcher. We are delighted that you have tuned in on shcog.com. The Stratford Heights Church of God has donated their equipment for us to use tonight and tomorrow night. So we will be broadcasting the game tomorrow night from the new Wadey Miller Arena. Honestly, as much as we like tonight, we can't wait for tomorrow. But as the handshakes go around with Jerry Lucas and George Payne and others, it's time.
The Middies are wearing throwback uniforms tonight, honoring the final game here at the Wadey Miller Gym.
So our officials tonight, Brian Kretsch, Scott Field, and Daniel Dalton. So this is going to be a very loud night tonight, because if it's anything like it was for the junior varsity game, they spared no expense for their voices. Our starting lineups now for tonight's game for the Hamilton Big Blue. We got Peyton, Jalen Robinson, number 4. Peyton Pennington, number 0, is getting the start tonight. We thought Zach Morgan might. We've got Brian Henderson, number 11, comes out. And then Cameron Benson, number 22, a 6'4 senior. And DeMarco Howard, one of the 2 best shooters on this team, number 25, a 6'1 junior. That rounds out the starting lineup. It'll be Pennington, Robinson, Henderson, Benson, and Howard.
And again, you can see they're a little bit smaller, 5'10", have a couple 5'10" players. Middletown certainly has the size advantage here tonight to start this game.
Now for the Middletown Middies. As the cheer goes up, you've got number Jordan Mumford is number 20. And wearing number 3 is Keontae Powell. And number 45, one of the leading scorers, Chris Stallworth, number 45. Normally wears 40, but with the throwbacks, it's number 45. And now number 25, that's a change in our program as well. This is Juwan Bailey. So Bailey wears number 25. And rounding out the starting lineup will be number 12, James Miller. So you got Miller, number 12, Stallworth, number 45, Bailey, number 25, Jordan Mumford, number 20, and Keontae Powell, number 3. Marty, I'm not kidding. With the new arena, I hope they got the AC working tomorrow night.
I'm sure they will. Let's hope so. 30 degrees outside and about 100 degrees in here.
Well, when you pack over 3,000 people here at the old Wadey Miller Gymnasium, I don't think it would pass the green standard today in building. So we're set to go. The final tip-off of the final game at the Wadey Miller Gymnasium. It's now 65 years old, ready for Social Security. And the tip goes and controlled by the Middletown Middies.
Really anxious to see how these young middies handle this environment here in the first couple of minutes.
This is Aaron Jones wearing number 4 tonight, normally number 14. Powell now into the corner, and the toss-up. He gets stuck, hits the top wire. Shot by Mumford, so turnover goes to Hamilton.
Middletown drops that back in that half-court defense, man-to-man defense. And you're going to see, unless they get a just long rebound for a fast break, this is going to be a very slow-tempo Middletown basketball team.
Henderson on the floor for the Big Blue, and the ball goes out of bounds. Can't be saved by Benson, so Middletown will inbound. And here comes Aaron Jones again. Jones, number 4.
Man-to-man by the Big Blue.
Inside feed to Stallworth, goes off his hands, and the shot is taken by Bailey, and Bailey's going to go up to the free throw line for 2.
And Bailey is the only kid on this team with any varsity experience from the last year.
Bailey just 1 out of 2 here in the first 2 games. No score in the contest, and it remains 0-0 at the 7:17 mark. Bailey gets the first point of the night.
And Bailey's really done a nice job the last 2 or 3 years rounding that shot out in great form on those free throws.
Had 2 older brothers play here for the Middies. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The shot is good for 3 points by Jalen Robinson. So he opens up and gives Hamilton the 2-point lead at 3-1.
We're going to see a lot of those long shots out of the Big Blue. They can really knock them down.
Stallworth having a hard time with the basketball, tried to get his own rebound, but stripped it away, and now Stallworth is going to be called for the reach-in foul.
Well, great power on the inside by Stallworth, missed the shot, but really liked the way he went up and attacked the basket.
He was battling DeMarco Howard of Hamilton, so 6:47 to go, 3-1 our score, Hamilton on top by 2. Right in front of the student section, here's Pennington bringing the ball across the timeline. Pennington, man-to-man defense for Middletown. The 3-point shot is off target. High rebound comes away to Jones and, Powell. And Powell is fouled by Hamilton with a reach-in.
Yeah, Powell got a little lazy there, reached in instead of moving those feet.
So Jalen Robinson picks up his first foul, the first of the night for Hamilton. Marty, you mentioned about the quickness, and that's one of the things that Coach Hoskins told us was that this team is quicker for his middies than they were last year.
Well, they are, and again, if you watch Coach Hoskins over the years up in Dayton, I really liked him as a coach because based upon his talent, he would either be a very up-tempo team or could slow it down.
as opposed to these coaches kind of force their style regardless of the personnel.
Now there's a mix-up down at the scorer's table, trying to get things sorted out. And Middie students are getting into it. Everybody's going to work off a few calories tonight.
We're going to sweat off a few up here.
So Big Blue leads by 2 here in the early going to the first quarter of the final game at the Wadey Miller. Jones being guarded by Pennington. Looking at the three-point and taking it is good. First three-point of the night. Powell drives it for 3.
Really nice to see Powell get off that early three-pointer, build a little confidence here.
1-point lead for Middletown with just over 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. It's 4-3 Middies.
Watch this Big Blue offense. Very active, a lot of down screens, trying to free up these guys to attack the three-point line.
Coach Van Winkle said one of the keys to the game was trying to beat Middletown on the inside game. That shot is blocked by Robinson's shot is blocked, and here come the Middletown Middies. Driving the baseline, inside feed, and the foul. Bailey gives Middletown 2 more, and it's going to go up for the free throw.
Boy, nice shot by Bailey, but a great shot fake by Powell. Dribbled right around his defender to make that nice little bounce pass on the inside, and Bailey knocked it down.
Brian Henderson whistled for his first foul of the night. Bailey's got 3 of the 6 points, and now he's got 4 of the 6 points, or 4 of the 7 points. 7-3 Middletown. It's been a 6-0 run here in the first quarter. 5:40 to play.
Okay, this motion offense that Big Blue runs, they run it very effectively, and you have to make sure that you're not losing your man on the inside on all these inside screens.
Powell inside feed to Stallworth for 2 more.
Boy, nice job by Stallworth again, just attacking the basket, floating into the middle of that lane, knowing exactly where to go for that nice little pocket pass.
Coach Van Winkle says, let's play some more basketball, and he said we thought he might take a timeout, but on the other end, a foul is whistled against Middletown. And this first foul is for Aaron Jones.
Both of these teams go about 9 players deep, and they're going to need, I think, all 9 players based upon the pace of this game early on and the heat in this gym.
Trey Robinson, number 20, checks in for Cameron Benson, who takes a seat. First substitute of the night for either team. 5:16 to play, 9-3 Middletown. Middletown in the man-to-man. Jones putting up the defense right now. Kicks it back out. This is Robinson for 3. Short rebound by Stallworth.
So you Big Blue, just great fundamentals with their shot fakes, their ball fakes, great passing basketball team.
Nice rebound attempt by Jordan Mumford right there. Came in but lost the ball off the errant shot of Aaron Jones. Just under 5 minutes to play here. In the first quarter, Middletown up by 6.
Middletown not doing a lot of switching on defense, trying to fight over those inside screens.
Robinson tried to take it to the hoop, but instead a foul is called against Middletown.
Hey, Stallworth looks like he's gassed down there.
So Aaron Jones now has 2 fouls. Now they only have that for his first foul. I had him for 2. So just 1, and the shot goes up from Hamilton. No, they are cold here in the first quarter.
Great trap on the baseline.
Shandon Morris, number 2, is in the game. He normally wears 25. I'm sorry, 24. Here's Stallworth, turnaround off the glass, misses everything but the glass, and here comes quickly DeMarco Howard, one of the leading scorers. He puts it up and is fouled.
Yeah, great little spin move down on the box.
Davion Williams, number 23, checks in, as does Blake Marshall from Middletown, number 1.
Game got off to a quick start. The last few possessions, both teams look a little sloppy with their shot selection.
Shane Morris whistle for the foul for Middletown. As the 8-0 streak comes to an end with that basket made by Hamilton.
They're going to give Stallworth a quick blow here. But again, he's really powerful on the inside, and that's exactly what Coach Hoskins told us he wanted to do tonight, pound the inside against a much smaller Big Blue.
DeMarco Howard is good for 2 free throws and cuts the lead 9-5. Hamilton trails.
A little three-quarter trap press by the Big Blue.
Bailey loses the ball, but it'll go off Hamilton.
A lot of arms flailing around in there, but no foul call.
Good look at Bailey. And those throwback unis. Marshall to inbounds. And this is Keon Williams here, number 35. Bailey with the ball, now back to Williams. Inside feed to Bailey. He'll lose it. Here comes Hamilton. This is Trey Robinson. Being guarded by Marshall.
Now, Bailey needs to be a little bit stronger with that ball. They're attacking him from the backside. As soon as he puts that ball down around his waist or takes that first dribble, they're coming in from behind and having some success stealing the ball away, especially Williams has done that twice now.
Robinson back in for the Big Blue, replacing Pennington. And Robinson with the ball. And he launches that thing as it was tipped by Middletown. Aaron Jones put it up some nice defense. 3:20 to play in the first quarter. 9-5 our score, Middletown.
Coach Van Winkle's really put together a very nice team. Again, very solid with their shots, passes, screening, and of course the full court press as well.
The air 3-point shot by Brunk, who came into the game. Middletown can't take the opportunity of the rebound. Howard is no good, and Middletown pulls it out of there. They're running. This is Jones. Jones floater, no. Rebounded by Robinson for Big Blue on the breakaway. Here's Howard. DeMarco Howard goes up and good.
I don't think the last couple of possessions, that's really what Coach Hoskins is looking for. Last time they should have pulled that ball back out, really set the offense up, and try and get the ball again on the inside.
What was a 6-point lead is down to a 2-point lead for Middletown with 2.5 minutes to play first quarter.
They've been stuck on 9 points for quite some time.
Marshall gives the inside feed to Williams, and Marco rebound Bailey, he's fouled.
Great second effort by Bailey.
I think they're going to whistle this one against Davion Williams. Well, instead they're going to call it on Trey Robinson, his first. Already 4 fouls for Hamilton, 5 for Middletown. Up the line, a good look at the 6'6" senior, the only returning player on this team.
And again, that shot looks so much better than it has the last couple of years. Great rotation on the ball, leaving his fingertips.
Short on that one, and Hamilton will get the rebound, 10-7 Middletown. So the Big Blue 2-0 coming into tonight's game. The Middletown Middies 1-1. Robinson left side, it goes, and he will go to the line.
Well, again, just a nice little crossover dribble, nothing too fancy, but again, Middletown got caught, and they're really not moving. That's the problem. They're not moving their feet right now on those little crossover dribbles.
So up the line, Jalen Robinson. He's got 5 of the 9 points that Hamilton has here tonight. And he connects on the 3-point play, as we say, the old-fashioned way.
Here's that
tied at 10.
Press. Find the opening right in the middle of it, right there.
Stallworth too hard off the glass. A foul underneath will go against Hamilton. I think they're
that
going to
on Reed.
Curtis Reed.
You gotta watch his temper. He might get a T.
So Curtis Reed picks up foul number 1. 5 fouls now for the Big Blue, 5 for the Middies, and Middletown inbounds under their own basket. Marshall looking, gets it into the hands of Powell. Now under 2 minutes to play. We're tied at 10. Marshall looks at the 3, takes it. Rebound on the backside by Williams is good.
Coach Van Winkle is absolutely furious at the backside official. He thought there was a push-off, but it wasn't a push-off. Just great second effort.
All right, so we've got a timeout, a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here. 1:49. We do want to tell you that tonight's game is being brought to you and presented by the Stratford Heights Church of God here in Middletown, Ohio, and sponsored as well by American Savings Bank and by Moon and Adrian Insurance. So a 30-second timeout for Van Winkle to say a few little words to the guys in the black and white shirt. And there's the Wadey Miller floor. Blake Marshall coming into his own now. Pretty good football player. We're going to have a special guest here in the second quarter. 12-10 Middletown leads, 1:49 to go, and now they're going to go to the scores table and check on some things again. But Marty, what would you expect out of a Hamilton-Middletown game?
There's going to be a lot more fireworks later on. We're just in the first quarter, but a really nice, tight game. Both teams sloppy at times, but for the most part, Big Blue, they're really executing on their offense.
Nice strip and rip and take it all the way by Shane Morris. 14-10 Middletown. Just good athletic basketball play right there. Good screen set up by Hamilton.
Great defense by Blake Marshall on the top.
Robinson again going to try the three. Short. Middletown comes away with the rebound and battling for it and finally taken down. The fake and now the hesitation to pass over to Stallworth. He's trapped in the corner trying to get rid of it. Finally does. Marshall up near the top of the timeline. A minute to play here in the first quarter. Middletown with a 4-point lead. Taken away by Reed. He read that pass nicely. Spin move, and they're going to call him for a travel.
If you're going to make that pass on the inside, it really needs to be fake high and a dribble, or well, that was a foul down on the inside there. They got away with that one. It's called traveling against Big Blue. But you have to have that bounce pass to the inside.
Keontae Powell brings it up. Down to the corner for Marshall. Marshall back up top. On the wing, Morris. And now Marshall is going to try three-point. A little too strong that time. Nice rebound, pass down low. It is good. Jawan Bailey now with 7 points here in the first quarter. Extends the lead to 16-10.
Again, a great pass by Powell. Very unselfish on the inside.
Ball loose on the floor. Body's going up in the air. Hamilton stays with the basketball. Pennington now. Trying to get in the lane. Gives it on a nice cut. It's good by Hamilton. Trey Robinson, his first two of the night.
Yeah, great. Again, came off that high screen. Middletown lost him on the inside.
At the buzzer, the bank is no good. So we end the first quarter of play. Our score is 16-12. This is Middletown High School basketball presented by Stratford Heights Church of God.
Financial assets is our top priority, and we've been keeping that promise since 1921. In these uncertain economic times, you don't have to sacrifice coverage to receive excellent service and competitive rates. Moon and Adrian Insurance welcomes the opportunity to educate and guide you. Improper coverage or insufficient limits can destroy a family's financial well-being. Moon and Adrian, local agency can trust, local agency can count on.
For more information, visit moonadrian.com.
Welcome back to the Wadey Miller Gymnasium. 8 minutes gone. And look who stopped by to say hello. Look at this coach, Coach Jay Bird. Good to see you.
You too. How are you doing tonight?
We're doing great. I'm going to step out of the way so that everybody can see you wearing your Milton's Donut shirt. Why would you be wearing that?
My wife told me I had to come get some free advertisement.
I don't think you need the free advertising. You guys are always busy.
Oh, it is. It's been great.
Jay, favorite memory about here? You coached here?
Rick McCrabb asked me that before the game. I said any Hamilton game because it's always a packed house. This is the way Wadey Miller's supposed to look and be, and the atmosphere is incredible.
Now, Jay, how many years were you here coaching?
I was here 8, 9 years here, 3 as a head coach and the rest as an assistant.
And Ryan Fletcher, I never saw anyone more have a love-hate relationship than you did with Ryan.
I just talked to Ryan right before I came up here, gave him a big hug. We still keep in touch, and that's what's nice. You know, a lot of the former players keep in touch with them. They call and talk to them, and that's what's great.
Feet inside the Bailey is short, gets his own rebound, puts it back in for 2. Bailey now with 9 points. I talk about that love-hate relationship with Ryan Fletcher. He would make you so mad, then he'd turn around and do something great.
You know what, that's the fun part about high school athletics. You get to see a kid, and I thought Ryan matured quite a bit over his career here, and that's part of what you do. Your job is to get them to mature and understand. And I know I wasn't the easiest for Coach Ross either, but I apologize to him. As soon as I started coaching, I go, Coach, I'm sorry, I understand now.
Now, I remember what Marty was just talking about in the first quarter. Fake high, bounce low.
It's a simple game. You just got to keep it simple.
It's very simple.
Stripped away by Howard for Hamilton. He'll go up and get it and go to the line for the foul shot.
So, Jay, absent the Hamilton games, is there one particular game that really stands out for you as a coach?
I thought the Springfield South game, they came in, they were in the top 3 or 4 in the state, undefeated, came into Wadey Miller, packed house like it is tonight, and we knocked them off. And it was the year, when I took the job, they told me in the interview, okay, congratulations, you got the job, but we don't want you to kill yourself because you're not going to win. And I said, okay, I know our kids in Middletown, they don't give up, they're tough kids, and I think we won 16, 17 games that year.
That's not bad.
I'll take that every year.
18-15 our score. Middletown leads. They have an unforced turnover there. Have you seen the new facility yet?
I have not. I talked to Coach Hoskins before the game. He said he'd take me on a tour. I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow night. I think Coach Hoskins is doing a great job. He and I coached against each other when our boys were in 3rd grade, my son John and his son.
Put back by Hamilton and counted. And stepping up the line as Hamilton comes back is DeMarco Howard. So
I followed Coach Hoskins up in Dayton. I thought he always did a fantastic job up there. What I like about Coach Hoskins, he really, based upon his personnel, that's really what dictates his game, pace of play, and so on.
And you know what? That's what great coaches do. You adjust to who you have. And that's what, if you look back at John Wooden at UCLA, that's what he did every year. He changed based on what he had versus fit the players in your system no matter what, and that's just not good coaching. I think great coaching is when you do what they do and adjust to what you have.
Best quote from John Wooden, if you're going to take the time to do it wrong, you might as well take the time to do it right.
That's exactly right.
Well, Jay, you know, this place is special, I know, to you. I know you're kind of sad to know that this is the final game, but I guarantee when you walk in the new arena tomorrow night, you're going to go, wow.
That's what Coach Hoskins said. And I told him, Wadey Miller has been a great home to the Middies, and it's getting outdated. You know, and I heard the new facility is incredible, and, you know, the Middies will just build on the tradition and history of Middletown basketball. Doesn't matter where you play, you still have Middies on your chest.
That's right.
Hey, I was doing a little research for tonight's game. You're still in the record book. You know that?
For what?
I think it is number of shots made. Is that what I'm thinking of?
I got field goals in the state championship game. One of the others that I really like is the most points in one quarter in St. John Arena. And that was Bill Klosterman that told me that, so I'm going to take his word for it.
All right, well, Coach Jay Byrne, always a pleasure to see you. I'm disappointed you didn't bring any of those tasty Milton donuts for us to have here, but up here they would melt.
I have some in the car if you want to see me afterwards. I really do.
We might do that.
All right, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Good seeing you.
Stallworth, the right-handed shot is no good, and on the rebound, it's going to go against Middletown, and if it is going against Bailey, that will be his 3rd. Let's see who they call it on.
I think they're going to call that on Stallworth. He went over the back on that missed shot.
So good seeing Coach Jay Byrne, and I tell you what, he heck of a coach, heck of a basketball player. Still wears that championship ring he won for the Fenwick Falcons.
Yeah, he was special. As you mentioned, a great player and a really good coach.
So at the 5:22 mark,
Bailey picks up his third foul, and Hoskins has to sit him down for the remainder of the first half. He's got 3 fouls, but he's also got 9 points, tied with DeMarco Howard of the Big Blue with 9 points apiece. It's 18-17. Middletown with the lead. The only time they trailed was at the 3-1 mark. And Hamilton's coming back, and now you've got Jalen Robinson, who's got 6 points tonight, trying to make his second free throw of the night. And we're tied at 18.
Both teams with only 18 points put up, and you could say it's been somewhat a sloppy basketball game, but also a lot of intensity, and that's really that intensity has forced a lot of these turnovers.
Robinson trying to get Big Blue the lead and can't do it, and the ball goes off the hands of Hamilton. So we were tied at the just outside the 2-minute mark in the first quarter, and we're tied again at the 5:21 mark here in the second quarter.
Big Blue calling off that full court press, staying in their man-to-man defense.
Marshall trying to get away, and he can't do it. Here is Powell trying to look inside to Stallworth. Instead, he's going to dribble drive. Now back out top is Jones. Been rather quiet here in the second quarter. Morris. Now Morris is going to take the shot. It's blocked by Henderson. Henderson with the ball on the bounce pass feed on the left side. Shot is up by Howard, is no good, and the rebound by Hamilton, no good again by Henderson.
Boy, great effort by Stallworth on the inside. Really tough.
A bad pass as Pennington picks it off for the Big Blue, feeds it down low. Here it is by Howard. And Howard gives the lead to Hamilton at the 4:27 mark.
Yeah, you can't work that hard on the inside and then throw the ball away. Every possession is so important.
Howard now leads all scorers with 11. Morris to Powell. Powell right side in the lane, through traffic, off the glass, and ties the game.
Boy, nice little shot by Powell. Middie's really needed that shot in the arm.
His first 2 of the night were tied at the 4-minute mark. And now fouls will be called against Stallworth. That'll be his second.
Again, Stallworth caught a little flat-footed there.
Middletown now has 3 fouls on Stallworth. So he's going to have to take a seat. There's back up the line is DeMarco Howard, who is 3 out of 4 tonight from the free throw line. So on the bench, you've got your 2 big men, Bailey and Stallworth, sitting down for Coach Darnell Hoskins.
Probably not a recipe for success for the Middies. Talked to Coach Van Winkle before the game. He talked about the inside presence that Middletown has, how he was going to defend that. Now with 3 fouls on both of your big guys is not something that he has to worry about. And we'll see over the last 3:52 of the second quarter if Middletown can hang tough with the Big Blue.
13 points here in the first half by DeMarco Howard. It's a 2-point lead. And we've got a timeout being taken here. It's a full timeout taken by Coach Darnell Hoskins of the Middletown Middies. Well, I just want to thank the good folks over at American Savings Bank. American Savings Bank is one of the sponsors of tonight. And there's a picture we've got that shows Fred DiBiase, Betsy Rothschild, and Chuck Barton. And I want to tell you that American Savings Bank, they've got 2 locations in Middletown, Marty, but the one nice thing is they've been around longer than Middletown basketball. Since 1889, American Savings Bank has been helping Middletown folks. There's a picture of a couple of our guys, Marty, just to remind everybody that we'll be doing tomorrow night's game. And there's the one we need. Fred DiBiase, Betsy Rothschild, Chuck Barton, like we said, serving the community since 1889. And if you need a home mortgage, Betsy Rothschild right in the middle. I think everybody in Middletown knows Betsy.
Everyone knows Betsy.
And Chuck and Fred. Great people, 2 locations, North University Boulevard and at the corner of Elliott and Roosevelt. Remember FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. So Hamilton with its second lead of the night. They led by 2 to start the game at 3-1. It's been tied twice, and now it's 22-20. Big Blue, but Middletown's going to throw it in on their own end zone.
Middletown called that timeout, trying to get this team calmed down and a reset. Again, with 5 kids with not a lot of basketball varsity experience, we'll see how they respond.
Shot is rejected by Hamilton's Brian Henderson. His second of the night. Middletown's ball. There's the back of Blake. Losing the ball is Jones, and he'll get it back. 18-foot floater ties it up.
A nice job by Jones to follow that ball. And a great little floater on the inside. And that high screen. Great ball rotation by the Big Blue.
In and out by Howard. Middletown running with the ball. 2-on-3. Out of control is Keontae Powell, and he'll pay the price. Charged with the player control foul.
Boy, Pennington, he's not real tall, but he is a really fiery player.
Students from Middletown in the end zone, and up here in the second deck, the students for Hamilton fill up the second deck behind the Hamilton bench, and they're all on their feet.
Great back and forth by both student sections.
Henderson gives it up to Robinson, who now has Pennington with the ball. What did Coach Hoskins say? Hamilton has a great perimeter shooting team. They're trying to get it around the perimeter. Don't want to take it inside, even though Middletown doesn't have their big guys on the floor. Reed loses the ball, but look who's there. Brian Henderson for his first 2 of the night.
This Big Blue offense is so good. Every cut right to the basket. Really nice tight B cuts. Nothing sloppy on the offensive end.
So Aaron Jones with 2.5 minutes to go and sees his middies trailing by 2. Powell looks up, gives it off to Morris. Morris, baseline, here it is. The shot no good. And a rebound fought for by Middletown, and they get it. And they throw it right into the hands. And there's Pennington going downfield to Robinson, and Robinson gets it in, the biggest point of the lead, or the biggest lead of the game. 9 points for Jalen Robinson. It's 26-22 with 2 minutes to play here in the first half.
We were told Big Blue they have really strong guard play, and they certainly do. They know how to attack the basket on the turnovers.
That shot is swatted at and knocked out of bounds by Trey Robinson. So you can certainly see, Marty, how much that Middletown misses their inside presence.
Well, there's no doubt. And again, when you're driving to the basket like that, you've got 3 guys right on top of you. You just turn and kick that back to the outside, you've got a wide open look.
Mumford nowhere to go with the basketball, finally gets into the hands of Shane Morris. Robinson works against him. Got the 5-second count in the lane through traffic. That ball is swatted away by Trey Robinson. And here comes Reed. Reed in the lane off the glass. No good. The putback is good by Robinson.
If you're going to take that ball to the inside, you've got to be strong with the basketball.
We were tied at 22, and it's a 6-0 run for the Big Blue. And it's going to be Powell called for an offensive foul.
I tell you, Pennington is really creating some chaos with the Middletown student section. Could be a good kid to go after offensively and see if you can't draw a cheap foul.
Keon Williams, number 35, the big man, checks in with the bright green shoes for Middletown. They trail by 6.
They got Pennington listed at 5'10". He's probably 5'8", tops.
Here's Reed. Working around the arc. In the corner for 3 is Robinson. Air ball. And there's Williams on the rebound. And they're going to whistle Brian Henderson for the foul.
Well, again, wide open shot. Knew exactly where to go in that offense. And again, they're just so quick with that basketball. Great ball movement, cross-court passes, cuts to the basket. Very impressive.
2 fouls for Henderson tonight. We've got just under a minute to play in the first half. And up the line is Keon Williams. He's got 2 points tonight. Stretching out those arms.
Well, the inside official said 2 shots, and they corrected that quickly.
It'll be the 1-and-1. Williams just enjoying it. So I'll tell you what a great shot there. All the crowd around here. And there's Williams. After all this time, let's hope he makes it.
And that's going to be a foul against Williams, I believe.
Well, I think they're going to call it against Jalen Robinson and Hamilton.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Let's see. Nope, they're going to go the other way. It is going to go. I tell you what, Keon Williams was just trying to go forward and tripped over someone's feet. So for Williams, that's his first foul, and now it's a double bonus for Jalen Robinson and his Big Blue. Robinson tonight, he's 2 out of 2 from the free throw line.
Need to keep this lead by the Big Blue under 10 points going in at halftime. Get your starters back in there and see if you can't get a quick start to the third quarter play.
At halftime, we're going to be joined with Larry Allen. So Robinson with 11 points tonight, 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. It's an 8-point lead for Hamilton. Hamilton in his zone as we're nearing on 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Coach Darnell Hoskins saying be patient.
Big Blue going to sit back in their defense. Middletown's going for the last shot here, down by 8 points.
Clock shows 15 seconds to play.
Probably start this offense with about 9 or 10 seconds.
So Jones now with under 10 to play, looks, triggers the offense, down to 5 seconds. He puts up a 3-point shot, in and out, and last put up by Blake Marshall is just drawing the front of the iron, and we end the first half of action. On the final game at the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium, and the Hamilton Big Blue lead the Middletown Middies by a score of 30-22. So it's halftime here at the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium, and we're going to bring on board a face familiar to many people here. He was an assistant Middletown coach for a couple of years with one Coach Taylor, but for many, many years, or Josh Andrews, excuse me. But Larry, good to see you. You've got, I noticed you got the Big Blue basketball shirt on.
Oh yeah, even though I coached 1 year at Middletown, it was really a great experience for me. I was very blessed to be able to coach here at Middletown, all the great tradition. It's like this game tonight. It's not about one person. It's about so many great athletes, great administrators, teachers, parents, great boosters like Woody. He took me under his wing when I came up here with Josh. And what a great young guy, great guy to be able to be a part of this Middletown tradition. We were very fortunate that year. Had a great year with Josh Andrews. But I've been very fortunate. I got to play here at Wade E. Miller, which was Paul Walker's last game here because we beat him by about 20.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were reminding me that you won that game.
Well, I saw Gibbons here tonight as a guard, and I remember Bud Barley. Which, Bud was a great player. He was also a coach in Hamilton, administrator, a great principal. Hamilton and Middletown, to me, mirror each other. They've got great tradition, great athletes. But this gym was something that I loved coming up to play. I know my father-in-law, Coach McCullum, he tended to have Coach Walker's number. But, he always talked about the great tradition, how much he respected. I never, we had some fans in Hamilton, kind of hated Middletown. I never hated them. I loved them. I thought it was, if you were able to beat Middletown, you were able to go out and, play a great game, you accomplished something. And, that's something that I'll never, my son got to play. My son got to play here at the Wade E. Miller. We had a good team. But, the years that we had some really good teams in Hamilton. We used to love coming up here to Middletown. And, so many good coaches at Middletown. But, of course, Paul Walker was the gentleman that really put so many things together. Of course, he had some great players, as like Jerry Lucas. But, you gotta have great players, but you gotta have a good leader. And Walker was a great leader. I didn't get to say anything to his sons tonight, but I'd like to say hi to him before, because I know my father-in-law and so many other coaches respected Walker and the Middletown tradition.
Well, Larry, we still remember your son putting a dagger in our hearts with a shot right over here. What's your son up to these days?
Well, those were the years that I probably cherished as much as any, getting my son to play. I really never thought my son would play for me, but it worked out. God allowed it, and, I remember at the beginning of the game, they clobbered him, and all five, Bill Edwards and all of them, kind of went around him like they were going to intimidate him. Well, Billy had played in the top AAU circuits. He played with O.J. and Billy Walker 1 year all year, but, he wasn't going to be intimidated. Of course, one thing he had to deal with me. And I remember also, in the third quarter, he did something I didn't like. Oh, I got mad at him. And my brother-in-law, Buddy McCollum, he said, "Are you going to put him back in?" I said, "You know what? I'd rather lose than him do something that I don't like for him to do." Yeah, he hit a jumper, but all my other guys did such a great job of doing the right things. That was the last year that Hamilton's won a league championship. That's 07.
Well, you won the state championship that year.
Well, we won a state championship, but you don't win state championships. You don't put banners up like in Wayne Miller without great coaches, great fans, great administration, and great players. It all has to go together. And in 04, I felt like Hamilton was an entire family, and I'm sure you guys, people out there I'm watching right now, felt the same way in all those years. When I interviewed for a Hamilton job, when John Smith retired, I said there are three places I wanted to coach as a youngster. First was Hamilton, one was Middletown, and Camp McKinley. I got to coach at both of them. But you know what? I was very fortunate. And but the fans of Middletown have come out and supported their team tonight. And, the kids have put on a great performance. The coaches has had them prepared. I'm sure Middletown's really hot. And you got to be able to get them in control and funnel all that energy in the right direction.
Well, and the other problem, Marty and I were talking before the game, is that Middletown is so young, and to be thrown and thrust into this kind of situation.
Now, I agree, but number 10 and number 20, that I think scored 2 baskets in a row, are both freshmen, too. So we had 2 freshmen. Now, Middletown is young. Now, I've heard of news that they may get a returning player here in a few days. I don't want to say something out of place, but I talked to the people.
You may have seen him in the gym tonight.
I saw him in the gym. I was here when he was in seventh grade. Well, I said, this guy could be special someday. I hope for Middletown, because I tell you, if we're not playing Middletown, I'm rooting for Middletown. And I'm always rooting for the GMC school.
Larry, as a coach, as an administrator, as a player, isn't this fitting? Hamilton, Middletown to close out, bring the curtain down on this grand facility.
It's the Ohio State Michigan game, Duke, North Carolina to us. Now I know some of the old timers down the way that are up a little bit higher than me can talk about the days of going to the guards. Right. Now we played Middletown against, and I'm glad you brought that up. I got to talk to Archie Aldridge for the first time in 40 years, and I was so tickled because Archie was such a great competitor, was such a great player. And I was at Miami with him, and I see that he's healthy. He's got good hips now, and I'm so happy for him. It was like a lot of these guys are like their brother. And, those years were such great years. But we played at Millette in the district finals against Middletown when they had Ben Cole,
Betty Cole,
Ratliff, Gibbons, Ricky Martin. I
remember that game.
I remember turning my ankle, and Joe Colville, old trainer at Miami, taped that bad boy. And I tell you what, I had a good day. But here's the thing. During the year when we played
That's
Middletown,
what the Hamilton Boosters do.
Here's what happened. During the year when we played Middletown, Cole was the leading Butler County scorer. So I would guard him, and Kevin would guard Rattler. Because Kevin never played a lick of defense. You know that. I'm talking about Kevin Greenwood, a great player.
Right.
Great player.
But in the tournament, guess who was the leading scorer? Was Ratliff. Cole was not in it. Guess who guarded him? So, I remember those days.
Lucas was here, Jerry was here about 3:30 when the freshmen were coming in.
Yeah.
And just taking a picture and so forth, and he says, guess how many games I played against Hamilton in this gym? None.
Yeah.
It was all down the gardens.
They moved
Archie always never played in this gym. Because after what I said, we had Greavy and myself were underclassmen, and we beat them. The story was, Coach got mad at us at the end of practice on Thursday and ran us for an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
And I tell you what, he had us so mad that we came up here, Middletown didn't have a chance. But you know what? I appreciate you guys allowing me just to be a part of this. It means a whole lot to me, and I know how much it means to guys out there, because I got to talk to a lot of them, and we've got a great group of people here in Middletown.
We've enjoyed talking with you over the years. You've always been very gracious, and a lot of great stories, too.
I've enjoyed all my years. I missed the game, but I tell you, I love my grandkids. You asked about my son. He lives all the way up in New Hampshire. I got 3 ex-basketball players that live in New Hampshire.
Really?
Maybe they don't want they don't want to run anymore.
Good player. Ben had a great career. But no, it looks like it's going to be another great second half. I'm sure you guys are calling a great game, as you do all the time. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Larry.
Larry Allen, our guest here. We'll be back with the start of the second half. This is Middletown High School basketball on Stratford Heights Church of God.
Protecting your financial assets is our top priority. And we've been keeping that promise since 1921. In these uncertain economic times, you don't have to sacrifice coverage to receive excellent service and competitive rates. Moon & Adrian Insurance welcomes the opportunity to educate and guide you. Improper coverage or insufficient limits can destroy a family's financial well-being. Moon & Adrian, local agents you can trust, local agents you can count on.
For more information, visit moonadrian.com.
Join us for service on Sunday mornings at 9 and 11 a.m. You can also watch the services live right here on shcog.com. 30-22 is our score. Hamilton Big Blue in a big second quarter, Marty. And they have they're out on top. And Middletown will now have an opportunity to try and catch up with their big men back on the floor.
Middletown just shot 33% in the first half. Big Blue only 37%. Both of these teams hitting 1 3-point shot apiece. So the hot shooting 3-point game of the Big Blue certainly was not there in the first half, although they had plenty of opportunities, as did Middletown.
Jake Mumford steps out of bounds, lost his balance, so turnover. And Hamilton Big Blue with the 8-point lead as we start the second half and the final half of basketball. We're here at the Wadey Miller.
See if Big Blue goes inside and tries to attack the big guys and draw those 4th and 5th fouls.
Going up uncontested to Marco Howard.
Bailey really had to back off of that drive.
Now a 10-point lead for Hamilton. Bailey with 3 fouls. Works on the right side of the lane, off the glass. The leaner doesn't go. The loose ball pulled out of there by Howard for the Big Blue.
Big Blue really creating some issues for Middletown on the inside with that weak side defense.
Stallworth has 3 fouls as he starts the second half. Benson, who's been quiet tonight, puts 2 off the glass, his first 2 of the night.
Great coaching by Van Winkle at the halftime break. You can see he told the team, go ahead and drive that ball to the inside, see if you can't draw another foul. Middletown just has to be patient and stay with the game plan and be stronger on the inside with the ball.
This is a 10-0 run for Hamilton. Stallworth, baseline, leaner, yes. 4 points for Stallworth. Ends the run of Hamilton to 10. But it's still a 10-point lead for the Big Blue. Left side leaner is good by Robinson.
Well, that's a tough shot by Robinson. Give him a lot of credit. Got a defender right in his face and made the shot.
6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Middletown trails by 12 now. Morris for 3. Yes! Excuse me, it was Aaron Jones for 3.
Yeah, Jones, again, a nice pass by Stallworth. No one really defending Jones.
Now trying to answer the other way is Henderson, and pulled out of there by Bailey for Middletown. Jones having a hard time with the basketball on the floor. Hamilton pulls it out of there. Here's Henderson. Henderson's shot is blocked by Powell. Middletown running. Jones feeds down low, and it's good by Bailey.
Nice patience by Bailey, gathered his feet and took the ball up strong.
So Middletown trying to put their run together here. They trail by 7 against Hamilton with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Nice feed and cut by Henderson. Here's the rebound, dribble drive by DeMarco Howard.
Plant your feet and try and draw that charge.
38-29, Hamilton on top of the Middies. You know, Marty, no one's left this gym because they want to watch the final seconds tick off.
Great shot fake.
And a short shot. Dishes it back out to Bailey. Bailey, no, and goes out of bounds off the hands of the Big Blues. Shane Morris coming in, along with Davion Williams, number 23. Morris, as we said, normally wears 24, wearing 2 tonight on the throwback unis. 4:25 to play in the third quarter. 5-second count called against Middletown, so an unforced error on these young middies.
Seemed like a quick 5. Middletown continues to play that man-to-man defense. We'll see if the big guys on the inside, if they draw a 4th foul, if Middletown can go to a zone. Of course, something they don't want to do with the shooting ability of the Big Blue.
Ball is lost in the hands of the middies. Here comes Jones. Stops, pops, and does he drop it? No. Rebound by Jones. Puts it off the glass, too strong. And Hamilton comes out away with it.
Well, nice job of following your shot. Just couldn't get it to drop there. Not a lot of boxing out going on right now for the Big Blue.
Keontae Powell is on that last play. Marshall comes in as Powell sits down. So Pennington will trigger the offense. Hamilton's own end of the court. They lead the Middletown Middies by 9. 3-point shot by Howard, no good. Pulled out of there for Middletown by Aaron Jones. As he goes up court, a little out of control. Here's Marshall driving the lane, good!
I thought I heard a whistle, but I guess not. A great take by Blake Marshall. Cuts that lead down to 7 points.
First points of the night for Marshall. 3.5 to play. Going off balance is Robinson, and there for Middletown is Chris Stallworth. Inside feed and can't handle the ball is Bailey. Good idea.
About 100 miles an hour on that pass.
Bailey knows. He goes, it's my fault.
Benson comes out for the Big Blue, and again, they're going to that bench early and often here to start the third quarter.
Brunk in the game for 3. Rebounded by Middletown's Shane Morris. Now Marshall across the timeline with 3 minutes to play in the third quarter.
We talked about Middletown having to really take the Big Blue off of that three-point line, and they've done a pretty good job of that here this evening.
Nice feed inside down to Bailey, and his shot goes up, and he is fouled. I think they're going to call it on Davion Williams. Good look at Bailey. He lets it go and drops it. A dozen points for the 6'6" senior. Cuts the lead to 5.
Middies are just all business, no emotion at all. They just kind of get after it, play their game. Yeah, having some pretty good results in the third quarter, cutting the lead down to 5.
Howard's shot won't go, or it does go, rather. And Howard now with 19 points.
Howard just took the ball right at Bailey, trying to draw that foul.
Jones, who had the three-pointer earlier in the third quarter, up top being guarded by Jalen Robinson. 4 against 4.
Draw that 5-second call.
And Robinson strips him, and here he goes. Makes it count.
Too much dribbling up top. You got to move the basketball. Get some good ball rotation going.
15 points for Robinson. Jones trying to answer with a 3 and does.
Well, give him credit. He knocked down the shot, and Middletown's going to call the timeout.
So at 1:47 to go here in the third quarter, we have a timeout taken here by the Middletown Middies. Just a reminder that you are watching tonight's game courtesy of Stratford Heights Church of God. You're watching on shcog.com, and Marty and I will be back tomorrow night to bring you the first game from the new Wade Miller Arena. And game time is slated for 7:30, but with high school basketball, Marty, it all depends when the JVs get done.
That's right. See if there are any overtime games tomorrow. Again, house fitting, finish up this arena with Hamilton, open up tomorrow night with Lima. Lima, of course, was in the GMC for years, so a great way to bring them back into this change of tradition, if you will, with the two different arenas.
You know, as much fun as it's been to see some of the old Middie athletes here, there's one ex-Middie athlete who is working a camera tonight for us. That's Justin Jemison, who's down there in front of all the students. Justin said he would not miss this last game at the Miller for anything.
Middletown in a 2-3 zone. Break down a 2-3 zone by getting that ball to the inside and then the quick pass to the opposite side of the court.
Well, Hamilton content to stay up top. They've got 1:20 to go here in the third quarter, and they're nursing a 6-point lead.
Williams running the paint area.
Clock winds down with 1:13 to go.
He is just going to hold the ball, make Middletown come out. But Coach Hoskins is telling his mini defense to stay back.
We're now under a minute. Hamilton with a 6-point lead. And Middletown not pressuring the Big Blue.
So in this zone defense, the problem is if you get a quick penetration and a cross-court pass, you lose your man very easily on defense, especially on the rebound.
Now Hamilton starts to set up a play with 35 seconds to go. Robinson looks over to Coach Van Winkle. Down to 25 seconds to play. Middletown trying to get the 5-second count on Robinson. Under 20 to play.
So Hamilton's run a minute off the clock.
There's a cross-court pass that can really kill you in a zone defense.
22 points. And the third quarter comes to a close. Our score, 45-36. The Hamilton Big Blue lead the Middletown Middies by 9. Tonight's game is presented to you by Stratford Heights Church of God. Tonight's game is also being presented by American Savings Bank, with 2 locations in Middletown, serving the Middletown community since 1889. And no, Chuck Barton is not that old. In fact, he graduated a year ahead of me. But all the folks at American Savings Bank have done a nice job right there. You see Fred DiBiase. We thought we might talk with him here in the fourth quarter. Betsy Rossai and Chuck Barton. If you need commercial loans or a residential mortgage, or you just want to go in and get a nice cup of coffee, see our friends at American Savings Bank on North University Boulevard and also at the corner of Elliott and Roosevelt. So Marty, the final curtain is going to drop in 8 minutes from now.
And I don't think the Middletown Middie defense is going to play zone to start this fourth quarter. Great execution by Big Blue, taking that last second shot.
I don't think Paul Walker could spell zone.
I'll tell you what, there's a Big Blue fan with no shirt on, and that is not a good look. That man should definitely put a shirt on.
So 1 quarter of basketball to play, and Middletown trails 45-36. And the drive by Reed gets him his first 2 points of the night.
You've got to just play rock solid defense to beat the Big Blue because they just don't make many mistakes.
Nice shot put up by Bailey.
They execute so well on the offensive end.
Here's the 3 from Reed. Pulled out of there by Jones. Jones running. Off the glass, no, but he's going to go to the line. And this is only the second foul of Hamilton here in the second half. Middletown, which was quickly putting Hamilton at the line for the bonus, they've yet to have a foul called against them here in the second half.
Nice job by Jones going coast to coast.
DeMarco Howard picks up his second foul of the night. And there's a look at Jones.
Not a big guy, but he's really battling down low on the defensive end, grabbing several rebounds for the Middies.
Tell you what, Marty, looking around the arena, everybody's still in their seat. As Jones picks up his second free throw of the night. It's a 7-point lead for the Big Blue.
Middletown's trying to trap Big Blue in the corner once they cross the half-court line, and just not having any success with it at all.
Floater no good, off the hands of Hamilton. Middletown with the ball, 7:08 to play. You kind of get the feeling it's going to shape up in this last 7 minutes as one of the classic games between these two Butler County teams.
Stallworth getting a big blow here as he prepares for the stretch run here in the fourth quarter.
Middletown just, as you said it earlier, Marty, just dribbles the ball too much. And too many turnovers. And there's the first foul of the second half called against Middletown as Williams cashes in and gets his first 2.
Yeah, once they get out of sync on the offensive end, they just don't know what to do, and there's just too much dribbling up top.
Morris picks up his second foul of the night as you get a good look there at Davion Williams, the 6'3" junior. Trying to make it a 10-point lead again for Hamilton, and does.
Yeah, you've got to get this lead down to about 4 points or so with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, because the Big Blue, they're not going to miss any free throws if you have to go to start fouling them.
Right there, number 4, Aaron Jones, has 3 trays. And it's a 7-point lead for Hamilton. Losing the ball is Reed, but into the hands of Williams, who has it stripped by the Middies. Here's Aaron Jones. See if he's got the hot hand.
Set up here. There's a trap up top. He went over and back. Oh my goodness.
On the drive, Bailey They're going to say that he traveled. Darnell Hoskins said, well, he got pushed quite a bit.
Looks like he got pushed in the back. I think that's what the officials are talking about. Well, they're going to go ahead and give it to them. He definitely got pushed from behind.
And now a little conversation going on with Hoskins and the official.
As there should be.
Tell you what, Darnell Hoskins.
Coach, I can see Coach Jay Byrne down there. He's shaking his head as well. It's like he can't believe it.
Well, I'm waiting for Larry Allen to take off that that jacket he had and throw it down. He never knew he was in the game until he threw it off. But Darnell Hoskins is a class guy.
He's a solid coach. Yeah, we used to know how long it was going to take.
6:10 to play in the ball game. 7-point lead for Hamilton. Howard dribbles out of trouble. Now throws that forearm, and they're going to call a timeout again for Hamilton. So what we thought may have been a push-off, and Hoskins is asking about that. It is a timeout taken. So we had an opportunity to get some information about someone else who started with TV Middletown and then went on to work at ESPN. And this is going to be our good friend, his favorite memories, Jake Trotter. Jake Trotter, let's take a look at what he had to say. Going on the radio with the old at halftime of the games. In many ways, that was the start of my broadcasting career. The old Wade E. Miller. And that's Jake Trotter, Marty, who was our first sideline reporter on TV Middletown. And he would wear the thinnest of socks and then complain his feet were cold. But Jake now, a pretty good position because he's the lead writer and reporter for Oklahoma football. So he's got a little bit of action to do. Jake was in town, of course, for Jack Gordon's funeral. You know, one of the things I want to comment about for me at the Wade E. Miller, you and I, we're the last people to call the Middletown games. But the true voice was Warren Johnson and Dan Humphreys.
Absolutely. They did it for a long time, Lenny, and did a great job doing it. And another guy on our staff that's had a little bit of success is one Justin Jemison.
Well, we talked about Justin. He's doing pretty well professionally. And there's the putback by Reed. 9-point lead for Hamilton. Now, Justin's doing all right. He works for Fifth Third Bank in their IT department, and a three-point shot this time is missed by Jones. Justin works with the online presence for Fifth Third Bank. And now Hamilton's starting to make it a runaway, 11-point lead.
That's just too easy, Lenny. There's just no defense being played, stopping that coast to coast on the rebound, dribbling right down in the teeth of the defense for an easy layup. Just can't have that kind of play when you're trying to cut the lead with 5 minutes left in the basketball game.
Marshall picking up his first foul. Jalen Robinson at the line now with 16 points. He's perfect from the free throw line. Marshall checks out as Keontae Powell comes in. But Justin Jemison hires a lot of the kids out of college to work on the app development and the online presence for Fifth Third Bank. As you take a look at two of the officials tonight. Justin working that shot right there. Justin also works for the Reds, for the Bengals, works for CBS, NBC, ESPN. Does a little bit with Spectrum as well.
The nicest kid you can find, too.
And he said, when I asked him about coming back for tonight's game, I don't know if we can get a shot. Here's Justin, I don't quite see him. There he is with the camera on your left. I asked Justin about coming to do tonight's game. He said, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Tomorrow night, he's working Xavier University basketball. So 56-43 with just over 5 minutes to play.
We're going to make a move. This got to be the time.
Well, Jones had the hot hand with the three-point shot. Here's Bailey. His shot is blocked, but they're going to call a foul against Williams of Hamilton.
Not sure if Stallworth got injured or not, but he's been on the bench for quite some time.
Marshall getting ready to check back in. That's the second foul of the night on Williams. For Middletown, Bailey is 5 out of 6, now 5 out of 7. So far, 15 points. You know, as a coach, you can't be thinking about this is the final game. You're thinking about trying to beat Hamilton.
Talking to Coach Hoskins before the game, that's all he was talking about.
Well, it's a 12-point lead for Hamilton with under 5 minutes to play in the final game here at the Wadey Miller Gymnasium.
Need to give this big crowd something to get on their feet about.
Bailey into the hands of Marshall. Marshall for 2.
A fortuitous bounce there for the Middies.
10-point differential. Hamilton on top. Pennington swings it over to Robinson. Back to Pennington. Here for 3 is Robinson. Jalen, no good. Rebounded by Blake Marshall. Into the hands of Jones. He's got 3 3-pointers tonight. Inside the arc. The floater, yes.
Oh, great shot.
Now 14 points for Aaron Jones. Timeout called. We have one more commercial break for Moon and Adrian Insurance, one of the sponsors of tonight's game. We'll be back after this.
Protecting your financial assets is our top priority, and we've been keeping that promise since 1921. In these uncertain economic times, you don't have to sacrifice coverage to receive excellent service and competitive rates. Moon and Adrian Insurance welcomes the opportunity to educate and guide you. Improper coverage or insufficient limits can destroy a family's financial well-being. Moon and Adrian, local agents you can trust, local agents you can count on.
For more information, visit moonadrian.com.
You saw that shot of Craig Moon in October. 2 classmates of mine graduated in 1972. They've been around since 1921. A lot of old history in the businesses, really supporting us and the Middletown Middies. The crowd getting up on their feet. This packed house tonight, Marty. And 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and then the curtain comes down on this 65-year-old relic.
Middletown going to go with the full court pressure. Trying to
Stolen
create
by
the turnover. They're going to call a foul.
And they're going to call this foul, I believe, on Shane Morris.
Actually had him pinned on the sideline. No reason to foul there.
That's Morris's third. Only the third foul here in the second half. 3 fouls apiece.
Again, Middletown trying to trap up top.
Getting away from the defense of Williams.
Well, Middletown got a break there, wide open on the inside.
Marshall in the lane, out of control, and into the hands of Hamilton.
That's a...
Howard for 2.
Again, coast to coast. He's got to stop the basketball. At least make him change direction a little bit.
On the drive, Jones is fouled by Hamilton, stopping the clock with 3.5 minutes to play. Only the 4th foul.
Right now it's just quickness against quickness, and who's going to execute here in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this basketball game.
A 10-point differential, Middletown trails. Inside to Bailey, knocked out of his hands. Here comes Hamilton. They've got numbers. Robinson off the glass and good.
Again, coast to coast. There's no one stopping the basketball.
Back to a 12-point lead for the Big Blue. Now spotting for 3 is Powell.
Well, Powell's really helped keep us in the basketball game. But again, you have to have a stop on defense to trap up top and watch for the cutting Williams on the inside. There he is again. Great hands by Blake Marshall.
Under 3 minutes to play now in the game. A 9-point lead for Hamilton as you take a look at Davion Williams. It'll be different tomorrow night when it's a 94-foot floor length instead of the 84 feet that this is. On the cut, Reed, no. Rebound, Middletown.
Not a shot Van Winkle wants. Really disgusted with that shot selection.
Marshall Swings it over to Powell. Baseline, and he's fouled, and they're going to call this against Pennington.
Well, again, a great shot fake, taking the ball strong to the basket, and Pennington just couldn't keep up with him.
Only the first foul for Peyton Pennington. 2:37 to play, and a 9-point lead for Hamilton. Bailey in the lane, turnaround. Has the ball ripped out of his hands by Williams.
Williams never left his feet, just waited for Bailey to go back and forth with the move, and just was able to knock it out of bounds.
Two and a half minutes to play. On the drive. Jones is fouled.
Pennington again.
So 2 quick fouls for Peyton Pennington. 6 fouls now for Hamilton. The next foul puts Middletown in the bonus. You look at Pennington. Blake Marshall there to inbounds. And that shot is partially blocked by Henderson, but they're going to call him for the foul, for the reach-in foul. And you're going to put Bailey back on the line again. Clock stop with 2:25.
You mentioned the officials a few 2 or 3 minutes ago on that call down low, but outside of that, these guys have done a great job officiating a really tough basketball game. The last game, a lot of fans right on top of you. On top of these guys, they've done just a fantastic job.
Well, if you're a referee, it's a hostile environment, no matter who's playing. And I do recall one official, I don't know who it was, when he stopped the game and came over to say, "I'm in fear of my life," because he was getting chanted on by the students. Hamilton leads by 6 with just over 2 minutes to play. Into the hands of Bailey, down quickly to Morris. Morris! That shot they're going to say is goaltending.
That is.
So Morris says count it. So now Middletown's got a little mojo going, trailing by 6 with 2:07 to play.
Making it interesting, this full court pressure is rattling Big Blue just a bit. Nice job of getting out of that trap.
Pennington gets it back to Howard.
Howard not the strongest with the basketball as far as the dribbling skills, but doing a fairly nice job.
All alone down low is Robinson. He's got to get it back out of trouble. Pennington inside, turnaround Henderson. He's going to dribble back out and kick it out to Howard. Minute 40 to go.
If they take a shot, Coach Van Winkle's going to go crazy.
And Howard does, but Howard, my goodness, he's got unofficially 25 points. Back to an 8-point lead, a minute and a half to go. 90 seconds of basketball left.
Got to knock down a shot.
Jones tried to lead in between traffic and is fouled. Kind of feel like New Year's Eve. We're counting down to a new year, you know.
Boy, just a really, really bad foul by Williams, number 23. No reason to reach in on that wild shot.
Shot by Jones, first up is good. He's got 15 tonight. .125 to go. It's a 7-point lead for Middletown, for Hamilton. It's now a 6-point lead. So who was Wade E. Miller? Wade E. Miller was the superintendent for the Middletown City Schools, and that's for whom this facility was named. And he started back in 1917 as working here working for Middletown City Schools.
That goes back a few years.
And then this gym was dedicated to him in January of 1953.
And a lot of people don't know, I don't think, Lenny, that this court was dedicated to Jerry Lucas just a few years ago.
Well, and it wasn't until 2013 that Jerry Lucas's jersey number was retired. No one ever wore it, but it officially got retired in 2013.
We're getting back to the game here. Again, down by 6 points. They've got to create try and create the turnover on the inbounds pass, and if they don't do that, they have to foul. This is the one time when you'd like to see the Middies with 7 or 8 fouls. They only have 3 fouls, so they can foul 3 or 4 more times and not have the one-on-one opportunity. So,
and where did that come in to bite someone in the butt was Wilmington.
That's right.
In that tournament game, they had a couple of fouls to give, and they didn't. And the bank shot. I wish you'd get excited.
The bank shot. The infamous bank shot.
So clock winds down, 1:20 to go. Middletown trails by 6. Hamilton with the basketball.
You got to pick who you want to foul and do it in a hurry.
Robinson with the ball. In the hands of Pennington. Pennington works up top. Marshall on in. And a 5-second count. Great defense by Blake Marshall.
That's really bad basketball by Pennington.
So Middletown
trying to drive around, draw the foul as opposed to just passing to an open teammate.
62 seconds of basketball left. Middletown trails by 6. Rebound by Middletown. They trail by 4.
And no blocking out by the Big Blue, and a great follow again on the errant shot.
48 seconds to go. Middletown is, Coach Hoskins is saying foul, foul, foul. And the reach-in foul is called, stopping the clock. Keontae Powell with the reach-in foul stops the clock with 43 seconds to go.
I'm laughing at the coach. He's like, he can't believe the kid drove the lane trying to take a shot.
62-58, Middletown trailing by 4. Hamilton's ball underneath their own basket. Knocked out of there by Middletown's Keontae Powell. A little chatter going on between Peyton Pennington and the Middletown student section.
That's been going on all night.
Hamilton with the ball. Pennington in the lane, kicks back over to Reed for 3. Yeah, no. Off the hands.
Again, look at
Williams.
Look at Coach Van Winkle. He is absolutely going ballistic on the sideline. He cannot believe he took that shot. What is he thinking?
31 seconds to play. Middletown trailing by 4. Clock starts when he touches it. Marshall. Got to do something with the ball. They trail by 4. Get it to the shooter. Down to 20 seconds. They lose the basketball, but a whistle and a foul called against Hamilton for a reach-in foul. And this will put Middletown at the line for 1-1. 19.3 seconds to go.
Big Blue, they're doing everything they can to lose this basketball game. Let's see if Middletown can grab it away from them.
So Bailey at the line. He's 7 out of 8 tonight. And misses. And a foul on the rebound. That goes against Middletown, but Middletown has another foul to give. That's only their 5th foul.
Coach Hosslin's going offense for defense here, taking out Powell.
Reed gets fouled immediately. Clock stopped, 17 seconds to go. So Bailey's going to go back in. No, Bailey's still on the sideline. No, Bailey's in, I beg your pardon. A 4-point lead for Hamilton. Pennington with the basketball. He's double team. Down under 10 seconds, and there's a foul by Jones, stopping the clock with 8.3 seconds. So Aaron Jones, the junior, played a pretty valiant game tonight, 15 points. He had 3 trays.
Yeah, he played a really solid game.
So 8.3 seconds to go in the final from the Miller. Jalen Robinson now at officially 19 points. He hasn't missed from the free throw line. It's a 5-point lead for the Big Blue. timeout called by Hamilton with 8.3 seconds to go. We want to thank the Stratford Heights Church of God on Nelson Road, where Nelson intersects with Brill Boulevard, just a block or so north of the Middletown High School, for allowing us to bring you tonight's game as well as tomorrow night's game. Marty and I will return tomorrow night live on shcog.com to bring you the game with the Lima Spartans, an old-time GMC rival, Marty, that a lot of people were sad to see forced out of the league, but it's good to bring them back to open up the Wade E. Miller Arena.
And they talked about Lima being so far away, it takes you 2 days to get to Oak Hills. That was added to the GMC. You have to pack a lunch or going to Oak Hills.
No, that's true. But Stratford Heights Church of God, they have Sunday services at 9 and 11 a.m. They also have an outstanding youth department led by Cameron Jones, also an Oklahoma fan. But Cameron, Pastor Cam, leads the youth in the Oasis. The church just built a $4 million facility for the youth, opened up 2 years ago.
Let's hope we have this kind of crowd tomorrow night to christen the new arena.
Well, we got to say we were a part of it, partner.
That's right.
Just happy to find a way to make this happen. 8.3 seconds. And Bailey kicks it out with 4 seconds for the three-point shot, and no good. And Hamilton's going to win this one, 64-58.
Big Blue moves on to 3-0. Middie's fall to 1-2. But again, a great contest here tonight. Great environment, great atmosphere. Hate to see Middie's lose this one. Hopefully we can pick one up tomorrow night.
So the curtain comes down. No curtain calls after tonight for the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium. 65 years of great basketball. Win, lose, or draw, you always knew when you came to the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium, Marty, tough place to play, and you were always happy as a Middie to say, it's my gym.
And tonight was no exception. Just a great contest.
So Justin Jemison, we thank you for coming in tonight and helping us out, along with Brian Lear, Larry Ford, and Ryan Martin helped out. Jacob Birchwell was directing tonight. Zach Davis assisting. I tell you what, all these people volunteered their time to help bring this game to you. We'll be back tomorrow night. Our final score for the very final time from the Wade E. Miller Gymnasium, the Hamilton Big Blue put a dagger in the heart of Middletown Middies on this final game. 64-58. Tomorrow night's a new game, a new arena. Marty and I will be there to bring it to you right here on shcog.com. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.